It was the morning of February 11th, 2011. Right outside the New Delhi railway station, a black, unattended travel bag was lying around. Initially, people thought the owner of the bag must be nearby. But after several hours passed and no one came to claim the bag, people started getting suspicious that something was wrong with it. They informed the police about the abandoned bag. When the police arrived and opened the bag, which was about 2.5 feet long, they found a body inside. It was the body of a girl, and she had a peacock tattoo on the right side of her stomach. The girl also had a navel ring. She appeared to be around 29 years old, and her body had been forcibly stuffed into the bag. Her hands were tied with ropes between her legs to fit her into the small bag. The police started asking the people around if anyone had seen someone leaving the bag outside the station, but no one had. CCTV footage didn't reveal anything either. The police then immediately released the girl's picture and information to the newspapers and news channels. The girl's image began circulating in the media, and due to the peacock tattoo on her stomach, the media started referring to the case as the girl with the peacock tattoo. This name was inspired by the 28 English translated novel The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo by Swedish journalist and author Stieg Larsson. The novel had become a bestseller upon its release, and a movie adaptation was also released in 2011, based on the search for a woman missing for 40 years. The girl's body was kept safely for identification, and later an autopsy was performed. The girl's picture was shown on news channels for several days, but no one came forward to identify her. The police tried hard to investigate from various angles, but couldn't find any leads to continue their investigation. Finally, on February 23, 2011, the police gave up and cremated the girl's body, closing the case of the girl with the peacock tattoo. However, the very next day, on February 24th, a man named Carter Singh Solanki approached the police, claiming that the girl shown in the newspapers and on TV was his daughter, Neetu Solanki. He said that before Neetu left for Singapore in May 2010, she had gotten a peacock tattoo on her stomach. Now, the police were confused. If the body belonged to Carter Singh's daughter, Neetu, why had he come forward 13 days after the body was found? When asked, Carter Singh explained that Neetu had told them in June the previous year that she had gotten a job in Singapore and would now be living there permanently. This made the family believe that Neetu was still in Singapore. The family argued that they never thought the body could be Neetu's because they believed she was living in Singapore. In fact, Neetu had even spoken to her family on a webcam the day before, on February 10, 2011. During the call, Neetu had claimed to be in Singapore, and she had a bandage on her head. When her family asked, Neetu said she had fallen down the stairs and injured her head. She also told them she would be visiting Delhi between February 11th and 24. When the police asked why they hadn't been worried that Neetu hadn't contacted them for 13 days, the family said Neetu's phone had been switched off since the video call on February 10th. Neetu had done this before as well, and her sister mentioned that whenever Neetu went away for 10-15 days, she would inform them that she wouldn't be able to chat or call during that time. The family assumed she had gone somewhere for work again and had simply forgotten to inform them. They also thought Neetu might have wanted to surprise them by coming home unannounced, so they didn't take her lack of communication too seriously. The family had not met Neetu in person since May 2010. All their communication had been through phone calls or the internet. Eventually, she had even reduced her phone conversations. The question now was, if Neetu Solanki was supposed to be in Singapore, how did her body end up in New Delhi? 13 days later, the police had a new lead, Neetu Solanki. With her name, the investigation picked up speed. Neetu's family lived in Mashiala, West Delhi. According to people who knew her, Neetu was stylish, modern, and an inspiration to young girls in the area. Her sister mentioned in an interview that Neetu was a brave girl who wouldn't back down from anyone. Once, when a man on a bicycle tried to harass her, Neetu scared him so much that he left his bike and ran away. Neetu brought the bike home with her. In another instance, Neetu grabbed a boy's collar for making lewd comments. Neetu was around 29 years old and had studied law at Delhi University. She had also run for student elections at the university and completed a computer course. Her father, Carter Singh, who was in the dairy and real estate business, said Neetu was a courageous girl destined for great things. In 2007, at the age of 25, She had run for municipal elections in Meshiala, but didn't win. In 29, Neetu began working at a call center. Neetu Solanki's case was transferred to the crime branch. Investigators continued questioning her friends and acquaintances and discovered something important. In 2009, one of Neetu's friends had introduced her to a man named Raju Jailot at a pub. Raju's family lived in Nawada, Delhi. He had studied at the College of Vocational Studies and later earned a master's degree in tourism. Raju also had a degree in French from a Delhi institute. Tall and well-built, Raju had initially tried his luck in modeling before joining a travel firm, and then, in 26, becoming part of Air India's cabin crew. After joining Air India, he was given a house in Air India colony, Vasant Vihar. Neetu and Raju grew close very quickly after their first meeting, to the point that Neetu introduced Raju to her family. However, Neetu's parents didn't like him. Her mother felt that Raju seemed like someone hiding many secrets. The police began to suspect that Neetu's death was somehow connected to Raju Jailot. They started digging deeper into Neetu and Raju's relationship and learned that by March 2010, Neetu and Raju had begun living together. They wanted to get married but feared that their families would never approve of the marriage. So, in June 2010, Neetu fabricated a story about getting a job in Singapore. Meanwhile, Raju hadn't told his family anything about their relationship. Neetu's family continued to believe she was in Singapore, but in reality, she was living with Raju. Hearing this, people will start hating with love. Anyway, Raju reached New Delhi railway station after placing the bag filled with a corpse in an auto. But when he saw the X-ray scanner at the entrance of the station, he got scared and left the bag outside the station and ran away. According to Raju's brother Naveen, Raju stayed at his house on February 13th, and again from February 20th to 25. Raju also borrowed money from Naveen. Naveen was accused of harboring and assisting Raju in Neetu's murder case. Police said that there were frequent fights between Neetu and Raju Jailot. In one such fight, Neetu burned Raju's identity and educational documents. According to the police, Raju was an expert in creating fake documents for jobs, which is probably why Neetu burned his papers. On the night of February 10, 2011, there was a fight between Neetu and Raju over money, during which Neetu got hurt on the head and had bandaged it. When she made a video call to her family from home, she lied and said she fell down the stairs when they asked about her injury. The police also revealed that in the early hours of February 11th, Neetu called Raju Jailot's sister about property, which sparked another argument. The fight escalated out of control, and in a fit of rage, Raju slit Neetu's throat with a sharp weapon. The police were desperately searching for Raju Jailot. They believed Raju had applied for jobs at several call centers in Goa, Mumbai, and Bengaluru. He didn't have enough money to flee the country and was fluent in English, so he was likely looking for a job at a call center. The police searched for Raju in several cities and conducted raids across India. They even published a wanted poster and announced a reward of Rupee 100, but there was no trace of Raju Jailot. The police also received reports that Raju had fled to Bangkok or Nepal. Meanwhile, Raju's family was kept under strict surveillance, but all efforts were in vain. In 2011, Neetu's body was found outside the Delhi railway station by the Delhi police. 8 years passed, but Raju Jailot was never caught. During these 8 years, the case went cold, but Neetu's family was still waiting for justice for their daughter. Neetu's parents said their experience with the police had been terrible, as the police even tried to implicate them in their daughter's murder. The police, on the other hand, claimed they made every possible effort to catch the suspect, Raju, just when the case was about to be closed. In 2019, the police received information that Raju Jailot had been found. The lead came from a private hospital in Gurugram. In June 2019, a man named Rohan Dahiya was admitted to Para's hospital in Gurugram. Rohan was a heavy smoker and drinker, suffering from kidney and liver disease. He worked for an automobile company in Gurugram and lived as a paying guest in Sector 17 for Rupee 600 a month. Rohan was fine until June 17th, when he suddenly developed severe abdominal pain. He called a colleague to his room for help. The colleague assumed it was a minor stomach issue and took Rohan to a nearby government hospital. However, Rohan's condition worsened, and he was moved to a private hospital. His colleagues were very supportive, even raising funds for his treatment and donating blood. But Rohan's condition did not improve. The doctors eventually gave up, telling Rohan he had little time left. Realizing his end was near, Rohan revealed his true identity to the hospital staff, his colleagues, and friends. He confessed that his real name was not Rohan Dahiya, but Raju Jailot. He asked his colleagues to call his family and bring them to the hospital. Rohan's family was contacted, and on the night of June 25th, they arrived at the hospital. Raju Jailot, Echo Rohan, was on his deathbed in the IQ. His relatives also informed the police that Raju Jailot had been found and was in a Gurugram hospital, taking his last breaths. On the morning of June 26, 2019, the police arrived at the hospital, and it was confirmed that justice had been served for Neetu Solanki, as Raju Jailot was dead. The police had failed to catch him alive, and Raju Jailot could not escape the consequences of his actions. The police stated that they never imagined Raju Jailot had been hiding in Gurugram right under their noses. After Neetu's murder, Raju Jailot changed several SIM cards and phones. The police said Raju was an expert in forging identity documents even before Neetu's murder. He had created a fake identity in the name of Rohan Dahiya to secure jobs and accommodation in Bengaluru and Gurugram. He easily made documents like Aadhaar, PAN cards, and driving licenses, which is why the police couldn't track him down. After assuming the identity of Rohan Dahiya, Raju changed his entire behavior. His coworkers said Raju spoke very little and never misbehaved with anyone during his job. He never allowed himself to be photographed and used an old-fashioned keypad phone to avoid drawing attention. He even avoided drinking alcohol with others, fearing that he might accidentally reveal his true identity while intoxicated. Neetu Solanki's mother commented on Raju's death, saying that while the police failed to bring justice for her daughter, God had punished him. Raju had lived and worked in Gurugram for years, yet the police couldn't catch him. She refrained from questioning the legal system, but pointed out that even if Raju had been caught, justice would have been slow. Neetu's family would have been stuck in endless court battles, like many others. Despite this, she still expressed faith in the legal system. So, that was the story of the Neetu murder case. I'll see you soon with the next story.